Hey everyone, thanks so much for tuning in. So for today's video, I have some brand new Dollar Tree Christmas crafts. Today's video is extra fun because these Dollar Tree Christmas crafts are going to be completed using mystery box items. So if you don't know what the mystery box challenge is, this is put together every month by Courtney from Creative on the Cheap, and every month a bunch of YouTubers send each other boxes full of random things and we have to create all sorts of fun things. And there's always a twist and 2 challenge items, and you'll find out my challenge items at the end. I'm gonna link the playlist with everyone's video so you can check them out. Mine was sent over to me by Jennifer from A Little Bit of Common Crazy, and I sent mine over to Auntie Cuckoo Valerie. So make sure that you check out their videos, and let's go ahead and unbox this and DIY as we go. So here's the box, and I went ahead and opened it backwards because I want to DIY as I go. So I'm just going to pick up random things and then we'll leave the challenge items for last. Here's the lovely note she sent me. There's nothing personal in there, which is why I'm showing it on screen. And let's start with this lovely thing right here. So this you can find in the party section of Dollar Tree, and I'm going to start by painting it white. You can paint it with acrylic paint, but I wanted to move quickly, so some spray paint while the weather is still okay will do. By the way, now that we're moving into winter, I totally understand why people start Christmas DIYs so early. It is really hard to spray paint when the weather is below 50. So I'm going to take some green paint and I am going to start brushing upward. So basically what I'm doing is I am painting on little trees. And I'm doing this in various different methods. So with this, I'm just painting upward, and then the following tree, I'll change it up a little bit. You'll see the methods that I use, and I do go ahead and make some strokes a little darker, and then I go back in and add some white. You'll see it at the end. Here's an example of another tree. I'm just making a line straight down, and then I'm just pressing my brush in and making it thinner at the ends, making it nice and fluffy, feeling very Bob Ross. And I'm just doing this all the way around. I was gonna add a lot more detail, but I feel like if I would have added too much, it would have been a little busy. Right now it looks a little plain, so I want to add some gold because I totally want to transform this. I don't want you to look at this and think it was a little plastic dish thing. So with this gold deco pen, I'm going to outline the top and then I'm going to outline the bottom. Adding the gold really makes my happy little tree stand out, and look how elegant this looks. The next mystery item in the box is this little jar set. Now, what I created was a bit of a fail, but also a bit of a win because it was still functional. I'm going to create 2 different crafts. So with this caulk from Dollar Tree, I'm going to put it into one of these little bags that you can also find at Dollar Tree and find the tip that I like most. I tried to screw it onto the caulk itself, but it didn't work, so that's why I'm using the bag. By the way, this would have gone a lot quicker if I had had my color key, or if I would have just opened up the entire thing with scissors and poured it in there, but I'm apparently a masochist. So here I am piping it up top, not realizing that my camera has the worst angle ever. I apologize for that, but a fair warning, this did drip, which is why I'm saying it was a fail. Now it was a win because I was still able to open it, but keep in mind that this drips. So don't go too crazy like I did. Now I picked this up from Dollar Tree. It's one of my favorite ornaments that they have. And I'm gonna unscrew the top, and this is a little too big for that jar. So I'm just gonna cut it at an angle so that it could fit nicely up top. So here's my little dude cut in half, and it pains me to see him this way, but once you pop him into the faux icing, he looks so cute. And it's time to move on to the second craft that we're making with this mystery item. I'm gonna grab one of these headbands from Dollar Tree, take it off of the headband part itself, and just glue it directly on to the lid. This way it opens, closes, and boom, how cute is this? This next mystery item is this beautiful tree. Now for this, I had a ton of ideas, but I went kind of simple and I combined a ton of mystery items. I used this Dollar Tree fabric. They sell them in like little fat quarters. They're all rolled up, and this is one of my favorite ones. And I am just gonna try and line this up as best I can, and then I'm going to Mod Podge it in place. Before that, I do iron it a little bit just so it's easier to get those wrinkles out, even though this is very thin, and I don't think that's really necessary. Now the Mod Podge I am using is from Dollar Tree. It doesn't matter if it's matte, if it's glossy, if it's shiny, or what, because it's gonna be underneath this fabric. I'm gonna add it to the corners and straighten this out. When you straighten it out, there are some parts that end up a little lopsided, but honestly, it's totally fine. I'm only gonna do the front because I only had enough fabric for the front, but if you wanted to do the back, then I would highly recommend getting 2 of these or just buying fabric at a regular store like Walmart, because $1.25, I don't know about that. Fully understand that without the back finish, this looks hideous, but I promise you nobody's going to see the back the way that I am displaying it. But if you plan on making this at home and it is going to be visible, then please cover up the back, even if it is just with regular paint. So I'm adding Mod Podge to the edge and pressing that in. There is this really cool trick where people kind of light things on fire, but I don't think that applies to regular fabric. So please don't do that. I think that's just for like burlap, and even so, let's not do that. I got these from Dollar Tree as well, and I'm going to paint them green. I was thinking of adding some other patterns to that as well, but I think too many patterns would have been a little too busy. So I'm just going to paint it in the middle and make sure some wood is visible. This is just personal preference, but if you are recreating at home, go wild with the colors that you want. This piece of wood is also from Dollar Tree, but I highly recommend that you go to a regular store and purchase that way, because $1.25 per little piece of wood is just not worth it in many cases. So I'm taking Jenga pieces, and this is what's going to help hold up these Christmas trees. So for the big one, I'm going to add that right to the front, and that's going to be my plaid tree. I'm going to add that right there. I also add one to the back so that doesn't slouch back. And then I'm going to add the green ones on the side. Now I did mention that I'm going to be using more of the mystery box items on this craft. And the items that I used were more trees. So inside of the box, Jennifer sent me some very lovely trees, and I figured why not add them to this craft. Here are the 2 mystery items that I added to this craft. So this craft in total has 3 mystery items in it, but this isn't the one that I'm adding the twist to. Don't you worry. I'm just adding them to the sides, making sure I don't go too crazy. So I just added 2 of the wood ones, and boom. These metal tags are my favorite, and I decided to take mine. This is a mystery box item. I removed the lining in case you don't know that it has lining, and I did spray paint it pink. Now, I went on Canva and I just looked up Santa images and wrote Santa Magic Key. I did not use my Cricut for this. I just cut it out by hand, printed it on regular paper, and I'm gonna Mod Podge that to the little tag. Now, if you haven't seen, right now there's a trend all over Etsy going around where people are buying magic Santa keys, and they're for homes that don't have chimneys. So it's a really, really cute idea to leave a special key for Santa so that he can get in and leave presents. The keys that I'm using are these keys from Dollar Tree. I was so psyched when I found them. I was really ready to use one of the keys that came with the regular locks. So again, I'm using my Decor color. This is just really vibrant, and I love using it for small projects so that I don't have to spray paint outside. I attach my key to my tag, and this is so cute. I love it so much. Another mystery box item is this chalk wood thing. Now, I have had these for years. These are little elf feet. They sell them at Dollar Tree every single year, and I'm just clipping off the ends. I feel like this video is just me being very violent to Christmas things. First the gingerbread, now these little feet. Take out some of the cotton and go to the next foot. Now I'm going to fold it into itself and close it off with some hot glue. You can sew, you can do whatever you want, but I didn't want that type of drama. So I am just hot gluing it in place, making sure that both of my little feet, the hot glue part is going in the same direction. I have another set of elf feet, and for this, I am not going to mutilate them. I'm just going to put them to the side. Now, these are these little plushies that were sold at Dollar Tree before. If you cannot find these, which I don't even know if they sell them or not, you can just use these elves and decapitate them. And yeah, that sounds terrible. But you're going to put the feet at the bottom, and then you're going to put the little nubs on the sides. I'm going to hold the head up using Jenga. It's dirty in the back because I've used this for other crafts. Make sure you hot glue this in place. Now you can use your Cricut to write like letters to Santa or notes to Santa. You can put your child's picture in there. You can do whatever you want. I left mine blank for now because again, I did not want to use my Cricut, but I think that this is so cute. Okay, now we're getting to the fun part because now I'm going to be DIYing using the challenge items. Now the rule is that I have to use both of these challenge items together and I have to add the twist in there. So I'll show you the twist as we DIY, but there's the first item and then here is the second. And I loved it. I think this is the best mystery box I've ever gotten. Or if, I don't know if I just got my mojo back, but I'm grabbing some cookie pans from Dollar Tree. Originally I had a different idea, which is why I went with cookie pans. Otherwise, I would just get poster board. So I'm going to attach these, making sure they're nice and straight. And this is kind of hard because the edges are not straight, but that's totally fine. We do what we can. Now I'm going to flip it over and just add some paint sticks to try and get it not to topple over. These you can get at Lowe's or anywhere. They're like $2 for a pack of 10. So just go crazy and line them up and don't push them too far to the side or you're going to be able to see it. Now that I've secured it at the seams, I just went ahead and spray painted it white. You're not going to be able to see this, but why not? So I added some poster board to cover those seams as well. And then on top of this, I'm adding fabric. Now forgive me, but I'm not using Dollar Tree fabric because unfortunately it just comes in a very, very, very small pack. So I would have to use a few and you would see the seams. But if you wanted to try this with Dollar Tree fabric, I'm sure it would look lovely if you add some trim. I'm attaching this using Mod Podge, and then I'm going to leave the sides alone because I am going to cover it up with some wood. Now again for this, because it is a large project, I ended up just buying wood from the hardware store, but Dollar Tree does have the wood that I was using in the other projects. They're just not long enough. So had I made this a little smaller, I would have been able to use that, but this was relatively inexpensive as well. I cut it down using my mini saw. I always have that linked in my description, but I didn't show the footage because I've shown it in every single video that I use it in. So I'm attaching it, and now it's time to use the first challenge item. Instead of using it whole, I'm going to split it up and I'm going to spray paint it. You can leave it the color that you want, but I really wanted to give it a hunter green color, and I wanted to make it dark so that you don't see the inside, and you will see why. The spray paint that I used was a lovely color, but I will admit it is very, very streaky, so just a heads up. I got this from Dollar Tree, and instead of cutting out numbers with my Cricut, I decided to use this because I didn't want to disturb the paint and I didn't want to include the Cricut in any of these projects. So I'm cutting this down and I'm going to try my hardest to get it nice and even though that's not really possible for me. So now I just grab them and hot glue them to the center or as close to the center as possible. If you really want to be precise, you can go ahead and measure, but your girl is, yeah. So I just added it to what I thought was the center, and once they were all covered, here goes the other challenge item. So originally my idea was to do this the other way around and use the pizza pan as the magnetic board, but instead I'm going to use this as like the little magnetic thing. So I'm putting this in the middle. Now we're not going to use that circle thing. I'm going to use this from Dollar Tree and I'm just going to remove the star. I love this thing, but I really love the star. And here's a twist item. I have to use clothespins. So I immediately thought, let's use the clothespins to hold them in place, to hold these little trees in place. And I know that these numbers are out of order because I'm sure by now you know what this is, but I was just trying to get some even spacing, or eyeballing some even spacing. This is what I came up with, and now this is the other twist item. I have to use pipe cleaners. So this beautiful gold pipe cleaner, I'm gonna twist it into itself because I need it to be long enough to reach every single tree. I put this on my star, and this is going to be part of my advent calendar. Tell me this idea isn't brilliant. To make it not so plain, I added some greenery, which in the end I kind of regret. So this is both greenery from Dollar Tree, and then I added one of the Dollar Tree ornaments up top, just to give it something to, I don't know, look at. But again, I kind of regret adding that stuff to the top. Let me know what you think. I added a Jenga piece to the back so that it stays in place and I can push this forward, and boom! So that's it for me. I really hope that you enjoyed this video. Let me know which one is your favorite. Don't forget to check out the mystery box playlist so you can watch everyone else's video. And as usual, thank you so much for watching. I appreciate you so much, and I'll see you on the next one.